for the Sunday night game on Sunday Night Football, let's talk about the Colts and the 49ers. For the 49ers, they were on bye this past week on week 6. They recently were in action in week 5 against the Arizona Cardinals. They were actually putting up a good fight defensively against them, limiting them to just 17 points. I mean, yeah, we didn't put up big numbers either, but still, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a total blowout from that Red Sea attack. But Nick Bosa in that front seven played a very good game in containing Kyler Murray and limiting them frequently. But still, we lost the game. Trey Lance didn't have the best of starts, but I mean he did enough he flashed potential. It's just unfortunate that he's injured. He's not going to be playing this Sunday night game against the Colts. He's not going to be starting. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to return from that calf injury. From what I've seen from the practice reports so far, as I'm talking about it on this day, as I'm recording, he seems to be making good progress and on track to be starting against the Colts. So now, as we're talking about the Colts, they are 2-4. But when I look at the Colts, they're not like a bad 2-4. If they were like, let's say they were getting blown out each and every week, or let's say their quarterback or their defense was so bad that they're 2-4 for a reason. I mean, yeah, there's a reason why they're 2-4, but it's not like they're a bad team. They're just getting outplayed and outsmarted by their opponents. Let's take the Ravens game for example. Their defense blew a big lead against the Ravens, while Carson Wentz was having his best game since 2017 against the Ravens. And I gotta admit, Carson Wentz, he's getting more comfortable running Frank Wright's offense in the last 2 weeks. And while T.Y. Hilton got hurt in the most recent game, having more help on the receiving end has made Carson Wentz a little more comfortable in the passing game. And then, of course, having Jonathan Taylor there, Nyheim Hines on the running game, Carson Wentz is not as pressured to do be the hero in Indianapolis. And on defense, the secondary is kind of a weakness. It's actually the defining weakness in that loss to the Ravens. But still, they give some big play. They give up some big throws and big plays. But when it matters most, they can make that stop. They can make that stop. Take for instance, that game against the Texans. Yeah, it's the lowly Texans, but they gave up some big yardage throws to the Texans, and they still only allowed 3 points in that game. And that was because while the Texans sucked, Davis Mills didn't have any help. They got some key sacks. They got some good deflections on Mills' throws. They make some plays that matter most. So the Colts recently defeated the lowly Houston Texans at home after the Ravens game. And again, keep in mind, it was just a bad Houston team. So we're going to be facing a Colts team that is starting to get its rhythm on offense, and it's a defense that still has a very good front seven, but it's also suspect on the secondary end. So the keys to victory for both teams, for Carson Wentz and the Colts, Carson Wentz should throw some mid-range throws to Michael Pittman and the backup Nyheim Hines, and the starting back, obviously, Jonathan Taylor. And by doing that, they can attack the Niners. Still maligned. I don't know why. They're still maligned. Secondary. And if he plays, T.Y. Hilton could possibly have a potentially big game against this Niners defense. And the Colts defensive line, which, by the way, this is going to be DeForest Buckner's big homecoming against the red and gold. That Colts defensive line needs to bully the Niners offensive line, which has been solid, but there are some question marks because we don't know if Trent Williams is going to play. We don't, like, Mike McGlinchey has been bad, like, not good. So there are some question marks. So the Colts defensive line, if they want to win this game, they need to bully around that Niners offensive line so they can get to Jimmy G, pressure him into making bad throws and sacking him. Now for the 49ers, the Niners defensive line have to block any and all running lanes from Jonathan Taylor because Jonathan Taylor had a big game against the Texans. Now again, it was the Texans, but still, like, he had a big game against that very bad Texans team. And if the Colts offensive line, like, open running lanes or anything up for Jonathan Taylor or even Nyheim Hines, well, the Niners are going to get run all over on the ground. And on defense, continuing, you got to get Carson Wentz under duress with multi-man pressure, like, from not just from the defensive line, but maybe you can continue to get pressure on him with some corners too. And then have some other outside corners on the, covering the receivers too. And then last but not least, everyone's got to step up on offense. That includes Jimmy G. That includes receivers like Brandon Ayuk and Ross Dwelly. They need to, like, with the receivers specifically and the running backs. If it's a passing play, they got to run their routes better. They got to run them and then get open. If they can't get open, they gotta improv so they can get open. I know I'm just, like, speaking this filthy casually, but they gotta find ways to get open for Jimmy G and make him more comfortable in the passing game, because Jimmy G is not like Trey Lance. At least with Trey Lance, he was moving around in the pocket and trying to find the open guy. Jimmy G is a statue that's always in the pocket. The receivers have to find more running room and more open space to get open. So Jimmy G has to help himself, and the receivers also have to help him as well.